is Amara Wynn, and this is the Author Series where I sit down with independent authors and we talk to them about their books, their process, what they're doing, what they have going on. And I have a couple of really great people coming up, but today is one that I'm especially excited about because she is amazing. Now, I've already spoken to her, so this is the after the interview me. She's so much fun. I've enjoyed her so much. But beforehand, I do have to do the thing. Um, it's a brand new YouTube channel. I haven't been doing this very long. Be kind, be sweet, subscribe, like, share with your friends because I want to do this. It's fun and it's a great way to learn about great books that are out there. And this interview, I think is going to be really helpful for indie authors because she's going to tell you some of the things that she did because she's got thousands of reviews. As a matter of fact, her name is Angela Rush. She is an Amazon best-selling in the military romance genre, an Amazon bestseller. Woo! And she's hilarious. So please consider liking and subscribing. This right here is my book, More Than I Expected, about a young woman who's not so young. Actually, I need to quit saying that. Who is going through life. She is a sort of recluse who stays home, has her best friend who is also a little bit on the chaotic side, and she meets a man over New Year's, and then she does an accountability app, which is supposed to help her get her life together. And of course, when she downloads it, chaos ensues. There is romance, there is lots of humor, there's lots of chaotic energy, but it's also about a real story about a woman who is going through things. So I think it's good. You may hate it. I don't care. Read it. It's great. It's on Amazon, on all major book outlets. You can order it, and it's on Amazon Kindle, and you can get it in paperback there as well. I would love for you to read it. And please make sure that if you do ever get a book from an indie author, that you leave a review because that is how people find us as indie authors. So I'm going to quit talking and get on to Angela Rush, who the Amazon best-selling military romance author who has written amazing books in her series, and I've read two of them and loved them so much. So we'll get to those right now. Hello, my name is Amara Wynn, and I am here today with Angela Rush, and I can't tell you how excited I am to be talking to her today. Hello, Angela. How are you?
Good. Hi. It's good to be here.
Now, I read through your bio, and there's nothing in it
Oops.
except your name, where you live, and I'm not going to disclose that because that just seems rude, and that you are a mom, a wife, a grandmother,
Yes.
and you work in the medical field. So why don't you tell us about you?
Okay. I have been married 36 years. We have three adult children. We have two biological grandchildren and five, well, five soon to be step grandchildren. We have two step grandchildren currently and three more that we claim already, but they'll be joining the family in May,
Ooh,
if not before then.
exciting.
Yes. We're very happy. Yes. So I live in a very small town in South Central Kentucky. Um, and I'm a nurse practitioner by trade. I was a nurse for many years and finished my nurse practitioner in 2014. So I've got almost 12
Congratulations.
years under my belt with that. Thank you. And in 2019, I decided that I wanted to do something I'd wanted to do for years, but that I was going to start writing because my son was 18 and he's the youngest, and that I didn't have little ones at home anymore, so I could kind of do what I wanted to.
And
So I did.
you write romance books.
Yes. And open door romance
Okay.
book.
That's the best. I was trying to figure out how to word that. That is
Yes.
the good term. Open door romance. Your
Yes.
covers are quite scandalous.
Yes, they are. Now,
And and before you, because I want to know I have to know everything. But before we move on, I do want to acknowledge that before we got started in this interview, I immediately told you how panicked I was because you were a grandmother and writing these kind of books, and then realized that we're almost the same age, and now I just feel bad.
yeah, it's okay. I'm used to it by now. When I first started writing, I would turn every shade of red, but it's all good now.
Yeah, at this point, what does it matter? I mean,
Yeah.
you're doing well. Now, let's talk about those covers.
Okay. So my Finding His Destiny series, I hired a cover designer and she chose those covers for me, the beginning ones.
He's pretty.
Yes, they're all very
They're
nice.
pretty.
Mm-hmm.
They're my type.
Then my Invicticus Security series, I self-published those, and so I bought the images that are on the covers and then had her to craft my covers.
So, are you traditionally published and self-published?
Um, it's all indie publishing. So
Okay.
Susan Stoker is a indie author, but she has her own small self-publishing company.
Okay.
So the way you the way I got started was I noticed she had lots of authors at the end of her books that had she was listing authors and their books and it kept saying fan fiction and I didn't understand. So I sent an email to her through her website expecting that if I got a reply it would be a PA. But Susan herself wrote me back and explained that she has a fan fiction world. And so these authors have either written stories about her characters or they've written their own story and used some of her characters as side characters. And
Oh,
then she publishes them through her Aces Press publishing company.
interesting.
Yes. So I said, I've always wanted to do that. I've always wanted to write. And she's like, send me your manuscript. And I was like, I don't have one done, but she said, when you get it written, send it to me. So I wrote the first draft of Charlotte and I said, I have it done. And she's like, she emails me a contract. And I'm like, wait a minute, like this could be complete and utter crap. Like somebody needs to read this.
I need a lawyer.
Yes, like So she sent me a list of beta readers and
There a cat behind you?
yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Uh she sent me a list of beta readers and they read my story and told me what they liked and what they didn't like and then I went over it again, hired an editor and went through the whole process. And once I had it to the point that I felt like it was good enough to be published, I sent it to her. She made it into ebook format, took my e-cover and made the full wrap and put it out on Amazon.
And did you have to pay her?
She gets 50% royalty. So whatever the
Oh,
books make, she gets a percentage and
okay.
then I get what's left. And I'm responsible for the cover and for the editing, proofreading, whatever. And then she converts it into ebook and puts it up and, does a lot of the advertising because of through her special forces world. That's
Okay.
how the books get out there. She has a
I got it.
huge following, close to 8,000 followers, I think. So,
That would, so I was looking over before I downloaded the Charlotte book. I was like, this woman has so many reviews, and it doesn't seem like she's been doing this a very long time. She obviously has a secret that the rest of us self-indie authors don't know.
yeah, it was Susan. I owe everything to her. She has mentored me, counseled me, been so good. And she's done it for many, many authors. She's a wonderful, wonderful person. And she has a really great team. And they've all been willing to share what they know and to help.
I love, so now that you've self-published, are you enjoying that process in a different way, better? I know, of course, say,
Yes and no, but it's very stressful. Just because you're responsible for everything, and she allows me to advertise my self-published books in her world.
that's
Um,
good.
but I haven't seen the revenue through those that I see through her world, even with her getting her cut.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah. Um, but I still wouldn't change anything. After my seventh book came out in her world, she's like, okay, little bird, it's time to leave the nest.
Get away
You
from
can
me.
still publish. No, you can still publish in my world, but she's like, stop giving me all your money. You need to
Make your own
have,
money.
yeah, do this yourself. So she's very encouraging and a very wonderful person.
So, are you the only indie author that I know at this point that's actually made money?
Um, and I wouldn't say that I've made money, but when you count what you spend on
True.
covers and editing and all that. Um, but I enjoy what I do. It's a nice hobby and a good tax write off.
It is. I'm learning
Yeah,
that this year. So,
yeah. And now there are some in her world that are doing phenomenal. Anna Blakely, Riley Edwards, um, they L. James, a lot of those who write in Susan's world have done phenomenally. I'm not sure if L. James writes in her world. I may have told a story there, but
well,
I
you're
know that
doing wonderful. Don't talk about how great they are. You're doing wonderful.
I, I'm a slow writer. So I have 11 books out currently since 2019.
Is that slow?
Yes, most of your ones who are really successful, like Susan and all that, they put out 6 books or more a year. I can't write that fast because I write like I talk. So my
And you're
books are
Southern,
long.
so it just takes you a little while to
Yes,
get to get
it
it done.
does. It takes me like 10 words to say what other people could say in 2 or 3.
As someone living in the South, married to a Southerner, I get it.
Yes.
So okay, I'm very excited to learn about that opportunity. I'm going to have to check it out. Your book, Charlotte, and the is it Finding His
Finding his
Destiny?
destiny. Yes.
Charlotte is a widow, right? And she is kind of caught up like in this really dangerous situation.
Mhm.
But she's different because she's not like our young heroine. She's like in her 40s.
Yes.
And that's probably immediately what grabbed my attention is that it's not just some young blonde, perfect,
Yes.
never been married. This was someone who was a widow who was my age, who it was so compelling. What made you go down that road of doing our age?
Well, for my first novel, I felt like I wanted to write what I knew. So having her close to my age, um, and having adult children, that was something I could relate to. And and I made her a nurse practitioner because that's what I knew. And I had nurse friends who have gone on mission trips to South America and different places. And so I wanted to kind of to pay homage to that and give a nod to those people because I admire that they've done those things, and maybe someday I will. Um, but I felt like she had lost her husband, her children are grown and they're doing their own thing, and so she's kind of left like, what do I do now?
Yeah.
And so she decides to set out on this adventure and go and help people, and it doesn't turn out like she planned, but
No.
everything works out in the end.
It does. So the Marine Special Ops team, um, what actually, I mean, you just said that you knew other nurses who were going out and doing missions.
Yes.
Your character, and is it Hawk?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I loved him.
Isn't he so precious?
He is. When Hawk discovers that Charlotte is like in the jungle, it's really dramatic. Um yeah, it's good. What did you know that was going to be your turning point for the story?
Um, I'm a pantser, so I don't plot. I just I sit down. I have an idea in my head of what I think is going to happen, and then my characters take me where they want to go.
Yeah, I want to be a planner so bad. And I'm not. They
Mm-mm.
just do whatever they want to do.
Yeah, they kind of go their own way. And the most my most recent book that I put out, it took me a year and a half to get their story written. I probably wrote 3 stories trying to write that one because they were not very cooperative.
They're never
They
cooperative.
wanted to go down rabbit holes that was going to make the book like 150,000 words or more, which I do have one that is that long. Yikes.
Oh, yeah, mine is my book is 456 pages, like almost like 95,000 words. And I that was after I edited it because
Yeah.
I had squirrel. I
Yes.
had issues.
Yes. I'm very much, yeah.
This is why my editor hates me because I refuse to remove anything. I'm like, no, that's perfect, just the way that it is. I don't know what you're
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
like, Amara, it's 130,000 words. I'm going to need you to narrow that. No one is going to read that.
Yeah. Cut that down. Yeah.
Well, thanks. Now, people talk about the romance and the suspense and the action. How hard was that for you to balance?
Uh,
Because it's
it
got a good mix of everything.
that's really good because didn't know that it was going to turn out that way.
It did.
Um, yeah, I was really because I don't know anything about the military, and I've always lived in a small town. I've never experienced, a really traumatic thing other than working as a nurse.
You
And
wouldn't know that by reading it.
yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Um, but I did a lot of research or tried to about the Marines, and I'll be honest, what my team does is not something that would happen in real life, and
Sure.
I've come to learn that later. Um,
That's why it's fiction.
yeah, I have a military consultant now, and he's like, that they don't really do that, and I was like, well, I do now after you told me.
Where
And
were
he's like,
you in book one hit?
yeah, he's like, but it's okay because it's fiction. I'm like, right. So yeah, they are Marine special ops are more supportive roles, and they're not. I kind of wrote mine like Navy SEALs, but that's not really their role in real life. But
Right. And
anyway,
I didn't notice the difference, to be honest with you. So
yes, thank you. Now, people who are in the military will call me out, and that's okay. But I have a little disclosure at the beginning, like this is fiction, and I don't know much about the military. I just want to honor them for their service and what they do.
and just sit back and enjoy the story.
Yeah,
Let's not get so serious about it.
yeah. This is supposed to be your escape from reality.
I need people to realize that it's not always going to be picture perfect because it's supposed to be an escape.
Yeah. And I I personally I have read many books that are like reality based or whatever, and they're okay, but I don't love those because I live reality every day. And when I read a book, I want to escape to
Something
happily ever
fun.
after and
Something
yeah, something
fun
fun
and
and something that
sexy.
catches my attention and yeah.
You do write sexy well.
Thank you.
How do your children feel about the fact that you're writing open book
Um,
romance?
pretty well mortified.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the consensus. Yeah.
How has your small town received it?
Um, it's funny. The church that I attended when I first started writing, the preacher was not happy with me, but I would have a line at my car when a new book came out in the church parking lot. No
Love
kidding.
it.
Yeah.
I love it.
So
You
yeah,
were the scandal of the town.
I am. I
I
am.
love that for you.
Yeah.
Does your husband, has he read them?
He has not. I started reading Charlotte to him, but he's not much of a reader, and so he kind of just zoned out. But
Yeah,
it's okay.
my husband hasn't read mine either. And I am pretty convinced that he just can't read. So maybe that's why.
Yeah,
It makes me feel better by believing that even though he too is in the medical field and has his
yeah,
doctorate, I'm like, let's just pretend like he can't read.
yeah. My husband says he's on every cover, so he was the model for every cover.
Oh, you know what? That's great. Let's bring your
Yeah.
husband on. He kind of like the beard. I was like, this is so my type. Which brings me to your Invictus series. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I liked that book more.
Thank you. Well, I feel like I have gotten better and I've learned more. I have a really good editing team and they have taught me so much about writing and that kind of thing.
Did you
Um,
plan on the first series going to 8 books?
um Actually it's supposed to have 10. I
Ooh,
think it will finally have 11 when I get it finished. I still have um I'm working on Heather currently for Finding His Destiny. I have plans for one Susie Beth, and then
Susie Beth.
yeah, she's at book 4, Allison. She's her best friend,
Yeah, okay.
and so yeah, and I mean it's the South, so
It's
she's
true.
Susie
I was
Beth.
literally reading him going, oh, I know one of those. I know an Allison. I know a Lisa. I was like,
Yeah,
I
you
just
know,
sent like all your covers to my like group, my friend group going, look, you've all made it.
yeah. And so the other one, I'm still kind of flip flopping on what her name will be. I think it'll be Tara, but possibly Tanya. I don't know. It's
Oh,
going to
you
be a
can't do
two.
Tanya because that just makes me think of
Tanya Harding. Yes, yes, yes. So Tara, it is.
Okay. Now your book Unfounded, your series Unfounded.
Yes.
That's the Invictus Securities
Serious.
series.
Yes.
So many names. That one focuses on Marley
Marley
and
and
Luke.
yes.
And so the readers, at least me as a reader, got that nice mix of like romance with national security.
Yes. So this one was it's the first in the series, so it's longer. You kind of got to set everything up. So Luke and his brothers are all named after Dukes of Hazzard characters from the 1980s show. Um their Daisy, their sister, her book is book 3 in Finding His
I
Destiny.
wonder because I went back and looked to see all the books' names and I was like, okay, is there going to be a Daisy? Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So she was they're a spinoff from her story. Um so Luke is the oldest of the siblings and Daisy is next to the oldest and then the others fall in under them.
But Luke has a disability.
Yes. So Luke was paralyzed at age 17 from a car accident. He was hit by a drunk driver. Um and which led to Daisy's choices in life because she felt guilty for what happened to him. But he had a really good outlook and he just took a tragedy and turned it into something good.
I love Luke.
Yes, isn't he the most precious?
Like I wanted to take him home. I was like, okay, he's so sweet.
Yes,
I love him and I loved his outlook.
yes. And the cover model on the book, I didn't know him when I chose him for the cover, but he is the embodiment of Luke. Like he is the nicest guy you will ever meet.
Oh, I love that. I mean, and that's going to make it, because that's who I pictured reading the entire time.
Yeah,
And,
he's a
uh,
super great guy.
you see, I need to quit drawing my covers and get models. That sounds like so much more fun.
Yeah,
Now, did you struggle writing the character having this disability? It's got to be tough. I mean, I guess
a
maybe
little
not
bit.
because you're a nurse, but
A little bit. Just to imagine what it would be like for him day in and day out and the navigating life from a wheelchair. And then being in security
yeah, that
because, he can't be in the field a lot. So he's got to really manage things from the office from
office, yeah.
yeah. Um, but yet was still her hero, even though he couldn't physically go out and
He was my hero too.
pull her from the clutches. Yes. So
He's you don't always have to be the big brawny guy out there pulling me from the trenches.
Right.
And as somebody who is a very large advocate of those with disabilities, and live in a house with wheelchair users, I really appreciated seeing. I didn't know that it was coming. I just started reading it, and I was like, oh, I love him so much. And maybe that's
Yes.
because I have a personal thing, but his character was so great, so
Yes.
great.
Thank
It
you.
it was so intense. It was emotional. It was romantic. It was fun. It was
Thank you.
What were you shooting for? Were you hoping that we were going to walk away like wiping our eye but laughing?
Yes.
Okay,
And
good.
I even, writing this series, I've made myself cry. And I messaged my editor and I was like, is it a good thing or a bad thing that I'm crying as I'm writing this scene? She said, it's good. It's good. I promise.
That's what we want. I mean, and I could see because there were moments that I was like, okay, okay, pull it together. This is fiction.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
don't normally get emotional when reading. I don't know if it just hit me at the right time. I don't
Right.
know if it's perimenopause. I don't know. But either way, it
Sister, living it.
it got me. And
Yes.
I loved his character so much. Now,
Yes.
I almost immediately started just going into the next ones, but I knew I had to stop because I knew I was going to be meeting you today, even though you didn't know that I was going to be meeting you today because I forgot
Yeah.
to send you the link and the reminder. But here we are. That's what matters.
Yay.
Now, I don't normally address this, but I was reading through your reviews, and your reviews are great. You got some of the best reviews, but there were a couple that made comments about like grammar and editing issues. Does
Yes.
that bother you, or do you just be like, ugh,
It did. I'm not gonna lie. After Emma came out, I had hired a good editor for Emma, and after Emma came out, I still got, that was book 4 in Finding His Destiny. I still got the grammar and the typos and things, and it really. And I didn't write for a year and a half.
oh gosh, yeah,
Yeah, I took a little hiatus, and then I got back into it, and I don't read reviews anymore,
that's
or I
smart.
try not to, just because it does put me in a funk. Um, and even good reviews, sometimes I'm like, I can't live up to that again. Like I can't do that. Yeah.
It's
So
smart because I noticed that one person and they voiced it exactly what I was thinking, that just keep going. Like it has nothing to do with the story. This
yeah,
is either going to be a self-published or an indie published author. Why do the grammar police need it? I mean, if it's not like constant errors, but it's just an
yeah.
occasional, why do we get so hung up on that?
I'm not sure. I have read well-known published
Traditionally published authors, yes.
traditionally and find typos or even timeline discrepancies.
Yes.
And as a reader, I don't call them out on that
I don't either. I don't,
because it
things happen.
it's like, you know, but yeah, um, it can be missed by anyway. And when you're indie publishing, when you're self publishing, you're responsible for all of that. You don't have a team of 10 people who go through this book for you. It's you, usually one editor, maybe two. I have a content and a line editor, and I was paying for proofreading. My proofreader has had some health issues, and so she's kind of taken a break, and she did not get to proof my last novel that came out. Um, but and I want to do all that for people, but it's expensive. It costs
It
a
is.
lot of money,
It
you
does.
know. And I want to put out good work. And I
I
try.
thought they were great. The two that I
Thank you.
read, I loved. And if there were any errors, I didn't see them because I wasn't looking for them. I was just
Yeah.
reading the story.
Yeah. So I have my content editor going over the first 3 in Finding His Destiny because I do want to clean those up and make them better. Um,
I didn't notice any.
well, that's good. Um, Charlotte may have been updated. I did have a proofreader go over it and we worked on it some. So it may be up to par. the other two, when I went back to read Daisy to write Unfounded, I was like, oh, heaven help me. I didn't, did I really put this out there? Oh my goodness.
Don't we
Head
all do that
hopping.
though?
Yeah. Head hopping. Like, oh my goodness. I didn't even know that was a thing until I started writing. But
Yeah, I've done that myself.
yeah.
When I saw, I got frustrated for you because of all the things that people come, and this is not to come after anybody who, comments. I
Right.
just think of all the things, if you've got a problem with the story, that's one thing.
Right.
But for something as trivial as a misspelled word, I just don't understand, knowing that it could happen to the big publishers as well, and does on a regular
Yeah.
basis. And I
Yeah.
wondered if it affected you. So I was really happy to see
It
that
did.
one that was like, people get over it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I recently, like I said, I try not to read reviews, but I read one recent in the last probably year on Emma because Emma is a larger girl. Because I'm on the bigger side, I write about larger women. And Emma has a lot of health issues. She has polycystic ovarian syndrome and
Hmm,
hypothyroidism. And
same.
those women, typically are have struggle more with their weight and all. And this reviewer blasted me that I was promoting obesity and that was irresponsible, which let me know she had not read the story. She didn't read the whole thing. She read that one part and you know,
And who
completely.
cares?
Yes. So in the story, Emma is trying to improve her health and at the same time learn to be able to protect herself because of something bad that had happened to her in the past. And she was unable to defend herself in that situation. And so once she recovered enough mentally to be able to focus on, she wanted to learn how self defense and how to protect herself. And so she goes to a gym and hires a personal trainer and that's where she first meets Wallace or Curtis. His name is Curtis. And that's where she meets him for the first time.
Do big girls not need love too?
They do. Everybody needs love. So,
Do we not get to read about all types of representation?
yes, we should.
We should not worry about that person.
No.
We should
Yeah.
blast them
Yeah.
for
I
being
just like,
fat phobic.
exactly.
I'm I'm destined to get canceled at some point, so I'm like, let's just do it.
Yes. Let's just go for it. The world is too hung up on being politically correct.
And I am not that.
No, I'm far from that.
And I like I look I you remember when that was it Jennifer Weirner Werner was writing the book like In Her Shoes and Good in Bed and it had like a bigger character, how people went crazy, how
Yeah.
terrible that was. But there was
Yes.
a whole other genre of people who were so thankful to have
Yes.
representation.
Yes.
I'm on team representation. And that will
Me
be the
too.
next one that I read because now I'm excited now and I want to prove that person wrong.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that the most memorable feedback that you've received so far?
Um, I have one reviewer who wrote that she read Charlotte when it first came out. And she said, I have reread this story multiple times. She said, I love this story.
I did too.
And, she's like, I can relate to it. It's my age. And she's like, and I so look forward to every book you put out. And that touched me. When I'm having a day where I'm like, "Oh, I'm such a failure. I'm just right crap." That I try to remember her telling me that. And I'm like, there are people out there who like my stories.
I like your stories. Don't stop writing
Yeah.
your stories. I read them very quickly because I knew we were going to be I like to
Yeah.
read at least one or two before I do an interview that way I can talk
Yes.
knowledgeably about it.
Yeah.
And I burned through Charlotte so quick and I knew immediately I was going to love it because of the fact that she was my age with grown
Yes.
children and you never ever see that.
Very rarely. Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, and it was spicy, and you never see a spicy 40-something-year-old one. I can't wait to read Emma. If she's a big girl too, then I'm like,
Yeah.
let's read about it because I
Yeah.
I need to know how you wrote
Yeah.
that.
Emma's younger. She's 29, 30, but most of my characters are, at least 30 or older or in that era. Um,
But you did it so well.
Thank you.
It was believable.
I try.
Do you struggle writing the spicy scenes, or you just have a vividly crazy imagination?
I have a really crazy imagination.
Okay. Yeah, you strike me as the type who would.
Yeah. I I had a lady ask me if I kept a notebook beside my bed. I was like, "Sister, this is fiction." And don't be asking about my personal life. Like,
Oh, good. Well, now we have to ask, do you keep a notebook by your bed?
I do not.
No tips and tricks making it from one spot into the notebook onto the page. Yeah,
No.
it's because you've been married that long.
Yes.
As
Yeah.
someone who's been with my husband for 872 years, I
Yes.
get it.
Yeah.
And I feel like we as women usually have very active imaginations.
Yeah.
And I'm not opposed to like the mommy porn thing. I'm not opposed to it, but I like it to have a story, and at least yours does. And it's not cliche, it's good.
See, I was so worried. I felt like that if I was, writing something that could be potentially real, but not, I always feel like that. I'm like, sometimes when I write stuff, I'm like, oh, that's so dumb. That would never happen, but you never know. Because
Life is so
life is
crazy, any of
stranger
that
than
stuff.
fiction. Yes.
There's
Yes.
so many crazy things. I really enjoyed it. And I was like, I
Thank you.
was immediately embarrassed after I read your bio because I was thinking about my grandmother writing it. But you know what? If she were still alive and she could, I would applaud her because the characters were strong, the writing is good, the spicy scenes were believable, at least in my head. Maybe I have a very active imagination because I could see it
Yeah.
playing out. And as someone who is not like a fan of like the 50 Shades type of,
Yeah. See, and I've had people ask me if my books are like that, and I'm like, I don't know because I've never read 50 Shades of Grey.
I didn't get
I
through
don't
them.
know.
I didn't get through them. Someone gave me all three books. I opened it, read random scenes, and I was like, this is so not for me.
Yeah.
And then I have a really great book bestie who's also an indie author, and I made the mistake of comparing his book to 50 Shades, and he was mad. I was like, my bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah. He was like, no.
Yeah. And he's like, mine is much more intelligent. And I was like, it is. I'm not saying that it's not. It's really good. But it's
Yeah.
so rare to see a man writing that kind of stuff anyway.
Yes.
So I was already intrigued. And I'm probably the person that would never admit to reading your books. Because I want to say, like, if someone goes, what's your favorite book? I'm going to say The Kite Runner, even though I haven't read it in like 20 years. And it was really depressing. And I put it down and said I would never read this again because I cried through it.
Yes.
But I will proudly say that I read your book because it was
You.
really good. And I can't wait to read Emma. Now, you have a good following of people who are leaving reviews. Now, we know why because you went through with somebody else. Are your books getting similar review counts since you've been self-publishing?
They're not as high. No. I think Unfounded has maybe hit 100 reviews now. I'm not sure.
I have
And
11, so celebrate your 100.
yeah, I try to encourage people to leave reviews. And a lot of people that read, I don't think they just don't think about it. They may hit
They
that
don't.
star, but they don't actually write a review. And they don't realize how important that is for especially indie authors to write that review.
As someone
Um,
who never left a review on anything in my life until I self-published, I now realize how rude I was for never leaving one.
yeah,
I have,
especially when you loved it. Yes.
yes, just take a moment and just say, I loved it. And that's enough. And a lot of people don't realize when they read it on like a Kindle Unlimited that sometimes the only way that we're going to get any sort of payment is if they turn a page.
Yes. Yes. That is big. Uh,
Yes.
Page turns really feed the indie author.
They do. And it makes me sad that that's what we have to count on. But,
Yeah.
and most of us know when you're going into this, you're not doing it to make money. You're doing it because you want to write, because you're passionate about it, because
Yes.
you want your stories to be told. But it
Yeah.
is nice to see that somebody did something well with it, because I have not talked to anybody yet who has done well. And I also don't know how people are writing 6 books in a year. I don't, having
I
said
don't
that,
either.
I ghost write and I write really quickly, but when it's my own, I
Yeah.
am slow.
Yeah.
So when you start yours, do you start with like a specific story already in your head? Do you build your character first? What do you
I,
do?
I just kind of have an idea of what I want to happen for, and a lot of times it morphs as I write the story. Um, I'm currently working on a short story for an anthology that I really have to have done in 2 weeks, and
And you're here talking to me.
yeah, but in it, I knew it had to have a mystery in it. So, like I said, when I was writing Unloaded, the third book in Invictus, I wrote 3 stories trying to write that. So what I had cut, I've saved. I don't.
Oh, smart.
I cannot delete. It's I'm a hoarder by nature, so I'm also a hoarder of words. So if I write them, I don't want to delete them. So I'd saved that, and I have used portions from what I had cut out of that to put in this story.
That's
So
smart.
hopefully I can write it faster. Um, but the premise of this story is she's going to witness a murder, and they have to try to keep her away. Like the murderer realizes that she saw what happened. And
So you're gonna
so,
mix the genres together?
yeah, well, it's going to be an Invictus novella. So it's going
Okay.
to be one of the characters that you've seen. It's going to be Kelvin.
Oh,
Um,
oh, yeah.
Kelvin, he is going to run into a lady while he's on a job, and he meets her as a waitress first, and then he goes to this club regularly because he's providing protection. He's a bodyguard for someone, and this person goes to the club regularly. So she sees him there for several weeks in a row, and then she accidentally witnesses a mob hit.
Oh, shit.
And so she's trying to get away and literally runs into him. And so,
And
like,
he's a good one to run into.
yeah. And so she's terrified, she's crying, and he, wants to know he'd been attracted to her from the moment he met her. And he doesn't understand why. And in the back of his mind, he's wondering, am I going down the same road as my bosses?
Hmm.
But he doesn't he knows that she's lied to him about her name when they meet, because he's trained to pick up on subtleties, and he knows that she's not giving him a real name. He understands why. She's working in a club, a
Right.
strip club, so you're not going to tell your real name, and he
True.
understands that. But it hurts his feelings that she lied to him.
Get over
He's
yourself, Kelvin.
okay. Yeah, he's okay that she lies to everybody else, but not
Not
to
him.
him. Yeah. So, anywho, so when he finds her, she tells him what she saw, and so he immediately jumps into action, and he's going to save the day. And I
Okay.
just have to finish it.
I'm going to get so lost in all of your books. This is going to be a problem. When you were like, I'm thinking about writing for the first time, did you know that you wanted to write romance?
I did, because I've always loved a love story. So, my oldest sister was an avid reader, and she read science fiction, she read Stephen King, all that kind of stuff. And so she encouraged me to be a reader and to read. And I did love that, but I don't really love scary stuff. Christine gave me nightmares. Um,
Mm.
Listen, I had walked from my grandparents' house to my house by myself at the age of 4 in the dark,
Because we're
not
that age where
scared
we could
at
do that.
all. Yeah. I was 12 years old when I read Christine, and I was terrified to walk in broad daylight from my grandparents' house to my house, and you can see one house from the other.
Oh,
So if I heard a car out on the main road, I mean, I was running for all I was worth to get home.
yeah. Christine and Cujo both got me.
Yes, terrified me. So, began babysitting around age 13 or 14 for a lady at our church who read romance novels.
Ooh, the intro through the church.
Yes. And so she allowed me to read her books. She was like, but don't tell your mama. I was like,
The
okay.
old Harlequin ones, you think?
Some were, and some were spicier versions. Yes.
Yeah,
And so I read, that's where I began my love for reading. And I loved the romance story that it was always ended with a happily ever after.
they do. It's so much nicer than
Yes.
constant,
Turmoil and
which
yeah.
was my entire book is that. It's like anxiety and stress. And I'm like, I need to write something lighter next time. Like, it can be a lot to
It
just
can.
constantly write something so depressing.
Yes.
I know you'll never read my book now though, because I said that you said that you don't want to read real life, and mine is loaded with it.
I didn't say I wouldn't read it. I just said I don't love to read it.
I don't blame, don't
But
even bother. It's fine. I don't, it's
no, 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 no.
okay. I am curious though of all of your character, all of your male characters. I don't care about your female characters. I mean, I do. I'm sure they're all great. Which one of the male character? Well, I'll ask both. Of all of your characters, male and female, because I want to be inclusive. Which
Yes.
ones stick with you the most?
Ooh. Um, it's probably usually the one I wrote most recently is the one that's with
Uh,
me now.
that makes
Um,
sense.
yeah. Um, I'm probably always going to love Hawk and Charlotte because they were my first.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. So, but Roscoe in the book I just wrote, he was difficult to write. He's a retired Navy SEAL whose last mission went FUBAR, and he feels responsible even though he had no control over the situation.
Oh,
But he feels,
survivor's guilt.
yes. So he really struggles, and he sees his brothers falling in love and beginning families. And in his mind, he will never have that because he's unworthy. Someone died on his mission, and they will never have the opportunity to have love or a family. And so he feels like that he doesn't deserve it either. And it was really difficult to write. And
That's so sad.
it is. It really is. And I was so afraid of writing something that would give people the appearance of being dishonored to a SEAL or to a military person. So that's how I came to get a military consult. When I first started writing this story, I was really worried about what I had written, because I wasn't sure if an actual military person would do what my character did. So I had met this, he's a former military, but he's also a cover model. And I met him at a book signing convention. And I said, would you read something for me? He's like, sure. And I said, I'll send you the scene. And he said, just send me the whole book. And I was like, you would read a romance novel? He was like, yeah. I was like, okay.
Yeah, he's a
So
cover model. Is he single?
no.
Oh shit, I'm married. Never mind.
So I sent him the book, and a couple of weeks went by. I didn't hear anything. And I was like, he's too busy. He doesn't have time to fool with me. So, like 3 weeks in, he sends a message and says, hey, have you got time to talk? And I was like, sure. So, he called and he's like, what specifically are you worried about? And I was like, I just outlined my thoughts that because in the story, he cuts off communication with his former team. He doesn't respond to their calls, their text, anything. Um, And I was afraid that because, once a seal, always a seal, you never leave a seal behind. So would they really do that? And so he read this and he's like, you captured spot on. He said, because communicating with them is going to bring back what he's trying to forget. So yes, he said, I've seen people do that. Um, and he's like, I don't think anything you've written would, you know, put a bad
Offend
light.
anybody.
Yeah, would offend anybody or put a bad light on it. He said, I think you've captured the thought process and the emotions. And I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna cry.
I'm getting emotional thinking about it.
Yes. I'm like, oh
Not
my God.
my story.
So yeah. So yeah, that this story did make me cry. Because it really is a story of healing for him, and to realize that even though something bad happened, there's still life beyond that and you can move beyond the bad. And Rachel helps him to see that. So yeah,
I
it's
love
it's a
you.
really good story. Thank
I
you.
love you. I don't know. I just love you. You're amazing. You have such a good personality. You're so fun to talk to. I enjoyed your books. This is not at all what I expected.
Oh my gosh. Thank you.
You never know when you're about to go into an interview what they're going to be like. You just never
Yeah.
know. And so far, everybody's been great. You are amazing. I love you. I love you.
Thank you. I'm an open book. It's just my personality. A lot of people tell me I'm an oversharer. I was probably ADD before that was ever diagnosed.
I know I
You know,
was.
I was a child of the 70s, and I got a spanking every day in second grade for talking because I would talk to anybody. I didn't care if they listened or not. I was going to talk. And so, and Miss Jean, if she sees me out to this day, she still laughs about it. She's like, it didn't matter what I did, where I put you, you were still talking. I was like, right,
And here I am, still
yeah,
doing it.
still doing it.
I think what you're doing, especially, and this is not to blow smoke, even though I'm not good at that anyway.
Yeah.
Uh, Deciding later in life, because that's exactly what I did, to follow that thing that you've always wanted to do
Yes.
is so commendable. And I think that people who always say, oh my gosh, I'm going to write a book one day, should just do it, because you
Yes.
are a perfect example of people enjoying what you're writing and leaving good feedback. And I just, it's commendable. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I have people ask me all the time, like, how to get started. And my best advice is just put the words on the page. All the rest of it will come in later, but you have to sit down and write. And I'm preaching to myself because I don't write as much as I should. Um, I put I've always been a people person and I always put others' needs ahead of my own. I'm very empathetic and I try to see things from other people's point of view. And so I usually put myself off to do for other people. And I've
That's the
tried.
nurse in you.
Yes, yes, it is. It very much is. And it's exhausting sometimes.
It is.
Um, yeah. I've tried to explain to people the fountain only can flow as long as it's being fed. And sometimes you can burn yourself out.
Yeah, I don't work in the medical field anymore because of that.
Yeah,
It's too much. And you being a mother and a grandmother and still working in the medical field and still following your dream, I think that's great. And I
yeah,
hope you get to that point where you can just not have to work and just write.
yes. I hope so too.
Wouldn't that be great?
That would be awesome.
Now, if you one last question, and then I know I'll put all of your information up there so people know where to find your books. Do you have a website out of curiosity?
I do.
Okay.
AngelaRushRomance.com.
Okay, I'll put that on the screen too. Um, if you were starting all over again
Yes.
without the help of somebody else and you were doing it on your own, would you do anything differently?
I would not have rushed to put out the second and third book. I would have gotten a good editing team lined up and I would have taken more time getting those out. I wrote Charlotte in 6 weeks, um, the first draft. And then I started writing in March of 2019 and it was published in September of 19.
Oh, wow. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. That's
And
quick.
then, yeah, and book two came out in November of 19, and book three came out in March of 20. And the reason being is I thought I had to be like others in that world and put out 6 books a year. And that isn't feasible. One, the way I write, and two, working full time
Right.
and tending to all the other obligations. So I have had to learn to give myself a little grace and to slow down and take the time and to make it what it should be and not just hurry to put something out there. Um,
Good advice for the future for the rest of us who are feeling
yes,
that pressure about when is the next one coming? When is the next
yes,
one coming? It's very stressful.
it is. It very much is, and it sometimes hampers my writing because I stress about trying to meet a deadline. So self publishing works for me because I don't have a deadline.
Right.
I usually don't even put my books up for pre order until I have the book finished.
Smart.
So I have put up book four in Invicticus for September.
I saw that.
Yes, I'm overzealous. I really need to get it and book five out before July.
Oh, what month is that? We're in March.
Yes, yes.
Honey,
I know, sister, it's bad.
what are you
Um,
doing talking to me?
but the couple that's going to be on, so Invicticus so far only has the male character on the front. But for book five, it's going to have a couple. And the reason
Ooh.
is it's the parents.
Oh, I like that.
Daddy is coming home and he is going to reclaim his woman.
Oh, I love it. Okay, I'm gonna have to start
And
getting.
this idea came to me after the first 2 books were already out. And I was working on the third one.
So you're already planning books ahead without even finishing the ones that you've done.
Yes, yes. I have there and it just hits me and I have to do it. Like I just so yeah, there's gonna be a huge twist and that'll get introduced in book four, which I'm working on now.
I'm excited.
And yeah. And so yes, I'm
You
really
are. I'm going to say it again. You are so much fun. I wish you lived in my town. We go hang out and get coffee.
yes. Hey, road trip.
Right? I mean, Kentucky
Yes.
isn't that far from me.
No. I'm gonna be at Be Love Spread Love in Nashville in October.
Oh, well, you know what? We usually go to Nashville in October anyway because my husband
Yeah.
goes to that Carter some place that sells guitars around the same time every year, and that's usually in Nashville.
I
So,
will send you the dates.
yeah,
Yes.
please do. I noticed that you were somewhere yesterday too.
Yes, there was a local bookstore about 40 miles from me, and they had local authors come and
Girl,
sit up.
you're busy.
Yeah. And so this was a last minute, a lady that I used to go to church with sent it to me. She said, I saw this and thought of you. And so I reached out to him and I got to set up. I didn't have any sales. Um, it was in the evening. It was 4 to 6 in the evening on a Saturday evening, and not many people came in the store that day, but it's okay.
They're
It was a
coming
good
early.
experience. Yes. And I worked on my short story. So I got some work done and I had a good time. I bought me a new sweatshirt and a bookmark, and I had a great time.
So you went there to make money, then end up spending money?
Yeah, which is
Story of
usually
my
what I
life.
do.
Yeah,
I'm
story
I'm
of
a better I'm a better buyer than I am a seller. So
You
and you
seem
know,
like you could sell anything to anybody.
oh no, I
You're
wish.
so personable. I think
Thank
anybody
you.
would buy stuff from. I'll come
I
buy
try
your
to be
book.
genuine. I try to be genuine.
You
And
are. I can tell. There's not enough people like you in the world. If there were, this world would be a better place.
yes, I think so.
I
But
will put all of your information up. We know what you got coming out soon. I have so enjoyed talking to you. I'm going to
mm,
jump into Emma next
yes,
because I just like the name and I want to read about a big girl getting love.
yes,
And I'm going to go and leave reviews tonight for the ones that I've read thus far.
thank you. And I
And
be
I,
talking to you.
yeah, it's been so much fun. And I will reach out. You have social media, you got
Yes,
Instagram. If you ever want to reach out and talk again, you just let me know.
yes, ma'am. I definitely will.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.